This podcast is part of the Planet Broadcasting Network.
Visit planetbroadcasting.com for more podcasts from our great mates.
Good morning, video games. Welcome once again to Filthy Casuals, a podcast about video games, hosted by three very kind and knowledgeable boys. Thank you for joining us. My name is Tommy Dasilo, and with us as always...
Ben Vanel, it's great to be here, Tommy. I'm feeling fine, I'm feeling dandy, and I'm also feeling a little bit randy.
I think that's going to come into play a little bit later on.
Joining us, as always.
My name's Adam Knox, and I'm feeling a little bit Sammy J. If you're feeling randy.
Okay, all right.
Nice.
I think that's...
That kind of is our dynamic, yeah. I'm the annoying small purple man.
I can play piano.
Yes.
And we have a guest today. What would you say about this gentleman?
What is there to say that hasn't already been said? It's Ben Russell.
I'm Ben Russell.
Comedian, raconteur. I've never found out what a raconteur is, but I know I hate the word.
Storyteller.
Oh, sick.
I think it's like telling a story while wearing like a dirty old hat. It's not just telling a story; it's like wearing with like a a waistcoat.
You tell a story, but like you don't realize anyone is there at first. You go, "Oh, hello."
Exactly. You've just finished playing piano, and then you've turned to the crowd.
A cabaret performer, basically.
Yeah.
I would have been telling this story regardless of if there was any people around to hear it. It's just a happy coincidence that people kind of started flocking to me.
I was just sweeping up, but turns out I do have an hour-long story to tell, in which I play every character, and most of them are British. They're chimney sweeps and such.
Well, it is a story about chimney sweeps.
B. Russ, what's the best story you've ever told?
Probably a story about a guy called Jesus.
Oh, yes.
The oldest story of all.
He had some pretty crazy ideas.
It's good to have you back after constant harassment from you in our Facebook group, demanding to be back on the show at any given opportunity.
Also in private.
I'm a little tenacious little squirrel boy.
Yes.
I got to say, I got a glimpse of what the guy who made No Man's Sky went through. Just my inbox lighting up with death threats from you every 5 minutes.
I'm going to fucking kill you, Tommy.
It's not the podcast you promised.
You promised me a podcast, and you did not give me a podcast.
18 billion tangents on this podcast.
Could have used a few more raconteurs in No Man's Sky.
And that was like a year after, this is now like a year after I asked that, and you come out with this patch. And it's still not great.
Yeah, have you gone back in? Because I know No Man's Sky is one of your favorite topics.
Yeah, well, give me back my video game.
Yeah. In a group that we're in, anytime someone posts about any video game whatsoever, you get on the thread and make a joke about your game being stolen or not being delivered to you as promised.
Sean Murray stole my game.
Have you played Sea of Thieves? Speaking of...
Yeah, the Xbox version of No Man's Sky. Yeah. It's good. I did play Sea of Thieves, and in the time that I played Sea of Thieves, I was I got into one ship after like so many hours trying to get match made, and then I finally got into one, and I got voted immediately into the brig and called and then they just danced naked in front of me. And
I reckon pirates wouldn't have even used that word.
Arr, that is disrespectful.
Arr, hey, look, we take all types here.
Yeah, we're in the waters.
We're one of the best hirers of disability people.
Yar, how about a content warning before you throw in stuff like that?
It was. I got
to say, this sounds pretty fun. What you've described to me.
When I got to play the game finally, it was actually enjoyable, and I would love to play it again. But I don't know if that game is worth the price tag plus the Xbox Live price tag, plus having to try and figure out an Xbox, which I had to, and they suck.
Yeah.
Xbox Ones suck.
Right. Yeah. I had mine for like about 4 months and I sold it to Knox. And it's not because I hated it. I just couldn't get into it. And I had a PS4 and it's like, well, I'm always going to prefer the PS4.
Well, there's just no titles on Xbox. Like,
right.
You might as well get a PS4 because you've got a better marketplace. The only reason why you get an Xbox, in my mind, is for the backwards compatibility
Yeah.
marketplace.
That is really good.
Right.
Which is basically just you going, oh, I missed the 360.
Yeah.
That's what getting
What
an
if it
Xbox
looked
One.
like a tiny bit better?
Yeah.
and ran sort of smoother. Yeah, that is really good. But I like the controller as well.
Yeah, the
I
controller
prefer the
is
controller.
fantastic.
That's
Yeah.
the
Absolutely.
The ace
Like
in
I
the hole.
bought Far Cry 5 for the Xbox.
Right.
Partly because I wanted to, like, no one else was going to do that, so I wanted to see if it, and it runs really well and stuff on there, and the controller is great for shooters. So
Yeah, no, that is true. I just, like, 360 was one of the best consoles. Like, I fucking loved the 360.
it's kind of weird though with the 360. It's kind of in the same position that the Xbox One is in the sense that everything that came out for it kind of also came out for other things. Most of the games that were on it were also on the PS3, and maybe the versions were kind of worse.
Yeah.
But it had a great marketplace. It had real, like, the Xbox Live was in really good shape.
Yeah,
at
the
that point.
interface was better than the PS3's one.
Well-
and just as a piece of hardware, the PS3 was a little bit more unreliable, I found.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When that first came out, people were having real problems with it, weren't they? Like they were breaking heaps.
And
And
developers had trouble with the PS3.
yeah.
But yeah, I felt like, and then Xbox One comes, and it's just kind of like, who was in charge of this? They just forgot
Yeah.
all their lessons.
Or that
What was
fucking-
that bloody Bungie was in charge of it? They forgot all their bloody lessons from the first one. Take that, you fucks. Give me back my game.
This is the most Microsoft content we've ever had on the
Yeah.
show,
I play a lot of stuff. I like the Xbox,
and we don't let you talk about it.
but like,
But you just play stuff on it that like we're talking about.
It's
stuff that
multi-
we-
yeah, yeah.
Like yeah. We
And
don't really have
realis-
cause to talk about it because I mean, apart from Sea of Thieves, it's the first thing to come out.
It is
on
the first thing. I mean, besides Halo, the ruining.
yeah. Well, they're fixing that up apparently as
Oh,
well.
yeah. What are they going to
The-
do? Just have to reboot the entire
basically
franchise again?
They're kind of fixing up that Master Chief collection and doing some patch to it.
343 did what no one thought could be done, and they destroyed a beloved franchise.
Halo 5 was pretty bad.
What
But-
the worst.
I'm willing to give it another go because I'm a fucking idiot. But that is it's a weird fucking thing. And then with stuff like Sea of Thieves, because there's so few people there, and then the game is fucked at launch, so it makes fewer people want to stick around. So then it like is this weird shitty feedback loop of there's no people, so I won't play it.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
then no one will play it.
Yeah, Sea of Thieves would probably best be enjoyed on the PC anyway.
Yeah,
Right.
which
I
there
do-
is a version there.
I do love this kind of point with that game that we're in, where it's like still relatively new out, and you know you feel people kind of trying to work out. All right, are we going to give this a bit more of a chance? You know what I mean? It's like people still
Yeah.
trying to figure out where they're landing on it. It's like within the next month we'll know. Nah, we're all out. Well,
people did
it's a
that.
flop.
People did that to The Division. The Division got so much badness. at the
Yeah,
beginning.
yeah.
And Rainbow Six Siege was the same thing.
yeah.
when it
Ghost
launched.
Recon Wildlands.
But Ubisoft
yeah.
has been incredible at fucking bringing their things kind of back from what would be
Ubisoft had
considered
such
the
a
dead.
bad kind of year last year.
Yes.
But no, they've seemed to have just listened to everything that people have been saying.
Totally. It's like,
Yeah.
it's the Ubisoft Renaissance. Because
For that,
fucking, yeah.
kind of 2 or 3
A
years.
French Canadian Renaissance.
Just quickly on the Xbox thing, it's always been interesting to me. Like, so
It's called an Xbox One.
Yeah.
the Xbox
the
thing.
Xbox thing. Hey, wouldn't surprise me if that's what the next one is called. I
I'd
find
be
it
into
genuinely hard
that.
to remember like what their weird numbering system now.
Yeah.
The next
stupid.
one will just be a random number. It'll be the Xbox 9.
Put a 6 in front of that baby.
Oh shit! the 6 Xbox 9.
That's it.
No, they'll go, or like the Xbox 359 or something, just to
Yeah.
make it like
Yeah.
even more confusing. But how like Sony and Microsoft, basically when they develop new consoles, it's just basically going, let's just make this more powerful. That's really all it is.
Yeah.
Whereas Nintendo are always in there going, what fuck controller can we put in this?
You can only play it on a bridge.
And I wonder if that will continue with Sony and Microsoft, or whether they will eventually start looking at, okay, are we going to implement, you know, new control styles when we develop a new console?
Microsoft is going in the opposite direction, where like they're making all of their games come out on the PC as well. They're just going to make a really
Yeah.
powerful.
Well, they've got that key there now. So, like, if you buy Sea of Thieves on Xbox and you do have a PC, you can play that on PC.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Like that's a really
Yeah.
good thing to be doing. And if they just made their thing a powerful, simple to use PC, the
Totally.
next one, then cool.
And I think that's what it is. I think we'll be seeing more like direct streaming functionality in terms of
yeah.
games? Like,
Probably.
will have consoles like the Steam console,
And
stuff
it's
like
that
where you
subscription service, and you just get access to 500 games.
just like
yeah.
how games are becoming more of a service thing. You're getting so many more service games.
Yeah.
Like even Far Cry 5 has, weekly challenges and stuff like that.
Do you want to shut the door?
Oh, yeah.
Ben's door just like swung open a little bit, and it was genuinely a little bit frightening.
Yeah. Is that shut? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think you'll see more of that. Like we'll see more of those as the technology becomes better.
The only reason I don't like the sound of that is because we live in Australia.
Yes.
Yeah,
The internet here is fucked.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, already in the States you have not just PS Plus, but you've got another PlayStation Sony subscription.
PlayStation Now?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yes.
Which you can get like every month if you sign up to it. You get these things. But I mean, yeah, Australia's kind of fucked that way.
Yeah.
Well, the Game Pass thing is good because the Xbox one, because you just download
Right.
the entire game.
Yeah.
And it sits there. And the Xbox is genuinely a good console. I got a little emotional
Come on,
about it.
guys.
It's the cheapest one. It's got most of the games. Like, it's not a bad option. With the Game
Yeah.
Pass thing, you can pay a very small amount of money to have...
It's not a
It's got
terrible
most of the
option.
games if you don't want to play any Naughty Dog.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
That Spider-Man one looks fucking
Spider-Man
good.
or-
Yeah. All right, so
Yeah.
should we talk about that? Because
Yeah.
that got dated
yeah.
September 7?
I think it is 7th.
I feel like
yeah.
this title's been coming out forever.
Yeah.
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 I guess there's a few of those that were from that E3 like 2 years ago or whatever it was that are still... That zombie one is still knocking about.
Yep.
Crackdown
Days
is still the
Gone
longest.
By or Days
Gone.
Days Gone.
Gone.
Yeah. Yeah, Crackdown 3's been coming out for 7 years or something.
I don't reckon
Well, that was
it'll ever
supposed to
come
be a
out.
launch title for the
Yeah.
Xbox One, wasn't it?
Yeah. Probably almost 7 years, literally. Yeah.
If that
fuck.
game comes out, it will suck. And
Yes.
it probably won't come out.
With Our Boy, which we talked about recently, because that was in development for like 7 or 9 years or something like that. And I hadn't really heard anything about it until right before it came out on Switch. And I'm so glad I didn't know anything about it through its development, because it's so the sort of thing I'm into, and it would have driven me insane had I been sitting there watching the process and like waiting for it to come out.
Yeah.
This release date that was probably like just always way too far on the horizon. But yeah, this Spider-Man thing, that E3 where Sony just came out and went, here's everything we've even thought about doing for the next 8 years.
Yeah.
Which at the time was like, Jesus Christ, this is awesome. Like,
Yeah.
they had such a great E3.
Well, and they had,
but
like-
then long term, it's like, where's any of this
That
stuff?
Final
Yeah.
Fantasy remake, the
Yeah,
Final Fantasy
yeah,
7
yeah.
remake that just, I feel like, has dropped off the face of the earth
Yeah,
since then.
well, it was like 2 or 3 months ago. They were like, "Oh, we're retooling the whole game."
Oh,
cool! Getting rid of the director, like basically starting again. It's
Okay.
like, fucking hell.
Yeah, that was the weirdest. Where like they were coming out in the middle of games and going, I just fucking had another one.
What about God of War reboot?
Yeah, but now he's got a fucking kid.
Got a little kid, and
a
it's kind of
beard.
Tomb Raider now. Yeah.
It does look fucking good though. That God of War.
Oh
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
it's all the first hand hands-on impressions that people have gotten. They've all been like, "This is fucking sick, man."
Well,
yeah.
Is that dated? That's
That's coming out on the 20th,
Yeah,
baby.
Yeah.
It's in like
Yeah.
2 weeks.
oh wow, cool.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
so
awesome.
the answer to my question is yes.
I suppose so. If you want to be a dick about it.
I very much do.
The same feedback from the Spider-Man stuff. Everyone, there was
Yeah.
like, I think it was Game Informer or one of those American magazines had a big thing about it and just listed all this stuff that they saw with it, and it sounds fucking good.
There's been more gameplay footage released as well,
Yeah.
and it looks great. It looks so
Yeah.
fluid and fun to play.
I like that you can only attach your webs to buildings or trees.
Right.
You have to actually have something
Yeah,
nearby,
right.
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is cool.
And the combat is apparently, is it still kind of that Batman
I
think so.
style
Yeah.
that's the
rhythm
impression I get.
Yeah.
combo sort of stuff, which I love. Well, I feel like Batman and
Get the DDR
Shadow
dance
of,
mat out.
Shadow of Mordor is all like you have to. If you press this other button when you hit them, it can start out like
Yeah.
criticals.
Yeah.
Those
yeah.
like long combos
Yeah.
and all that is
Yeah.
perfect for that type of game.
It's kind of established now as like, because like we were talking about this last week, how first person shooters, it's like this is the control scheme for almost all of them. Now these third person action games, the combat is like it's almost second nature.
Oh,
Yeah.
you've got two. You've got the Batman and Shadow of Mordor, and then you've got the Dark Souls, Witcher,
Sure.
Assassin's Creed style,
Yeah,
which
sure.
is the shield and the
Yep,
so you
dodge
do
and
a lot of
yeah.
a lot of rolling, and then you've got the other one, which
Parrying.
is a more fluid kind of like
Yeah.
Yeah, my problem with that sort of stuff is like it doesn't really lend itself to like if you take a bit of time off from the game and come back, like those combat-y kind of combo things. It's like, oh, I've forgotten how to do all the moves that. If
you've got like 50 things that you earn over the period of the game. Yeah.
Sleeping Dogs was a demon for that where you...
Yeah.
I found that with Shadow of War. Like I took a bit of a break and came back and it's like, oh, is it circle and triangle at the same time?
The new God of War is that kind of Witchery, Dark Souls-y based combat control scheme. Whereas the Spider-Man is going to be the different controls. They've got one that's Batman, one that's Dark Souls.
Yeah. But it seems like it's going to be... Yeah, I mean, it's one of those... kind of, games where, or like properties where if it's not a home run, then just quit. Like, if you can't make zipping around a city on,
well, they haven't been able to for ages. The last one that they did, Spider-Man 2 was good.
Yes.
Spider-Man 3 was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't feel like there's been a Spider-Man thing in a decade.
I guess
or more.
not.
They kind of stopped them after the last one they did. I don't remember what it was, but
I guess the Spider-Man 3 kind of killed. Oh, there must have been ones for the one with Facebook movie guy.
What?
Andrew Garfield when he was Spider-Man. He did two movies of Spider-Man.
But there was a weird era where they just put all the licensed stuff on phones.
Yeah.
Like a lot of mobile games.
Yeah.
There were some okay Avengers-y ones, but I think that was still in the dip before Arkham kind of really...
Yeah.
And they've sort of stopped making these games and like tethering them to like a movie coming out and the cover of the game just being the poster because they like having like them creating their own kind of version of that world has been proven to be more popular.
And is this the start of that one? Because there are a bunch of people making like Marvel licensed games. Is this the start of like the Marvel video game?
what's that big one that got announced that we've never heard anything since? That like some big motherfuckers were working.
Yeah.
Oh, was it Avengers? Yeah.
Who did that? Like the guys that did the Tomb Raider or something.
There was something where like they stopped working on another game to start working on. I'm gonna.
We
look
haven't
it
heard
up.
anything.
No, it was around, I think, when Disney shut down a bunch of the other stuff. And then they were like, no, this is going to be an actually good game.
I feel like it was from the dudes that created the Tomb Raider reboot.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Crystal Dynamics.
Yes. Yeah.
So that should be cool.
Well, one of our
That
listeners
sounds like a company
actually-
that makes pornos.
Crystal with a K.
Crystal Dynamics.
Yeah, one of our listeners
They're still
asked-
printing them on VHSs.
They're doing an Avengers parody soon.
Like, I bet if we picture the logo that would come up at the start of the video, I bet we're all picturing the exact same thing.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like,
kind of purplely pink, and it's like a little warped. It's like a triangle, like a tilted triangle in the background going off into the distance.
Nice.
But
You know
you
what they
think-
call me, Iron Man.
Do you think that it's a good sign or a bad sign that this title has taken so long?
Good?
Probably good,
I reckon they
yeah.
just announced it earlier than is the current trend.
Yeah.
Which is to announce it pretty close to launching something. But
and for ages, they were just showing like kind of cutscene-y things, so it's not like they were showing off gameplay that's then taken ages to keep working on, where it's like this, okay, there must be problems with this.
Yeah.
They clearly just, like
this
you're
is
saying,
just a
that's
more
like way too
old-fashioned
early.
thing of where like it always used to be that a game would be announced like 3 years before it came out.
Yeah.
And I think they've just done that. It actually looks. I was a little.
You were very
trepidatious about it for a
skeptical.
bit.
Yeah.
Me
All
too.
this stuff that's come
Yeah.
out recently has made me a lot more.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I kind of was, always thinking, I'm sure it will be good, but just what they were showing of it wasn't, I didn't think was doing a great job of convincing me.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it was mostly cutscenes and stuff.
Yeah.
And you guys were like, that's not real gameplay. That's programmed. That's all. And But I
Yeah.
think it looks great.
Yeah.
Follow the numbers. Follow the money.
Yep.
Look at building 7 that he's attached his web to. How to get that there?
Too soon,
That
mate.
is really
Too
Spy
soon.
Derman.
Yes.
Spyro.
Okay. Okay. He's gone into a segue.
I want to change topics.
You could just say the same company that is making this made Spyro.
Yeah.
I think that would have been.
Bro,
Yeah.
don't yuck my yum, please.
Fuck you.
Spider-Man's a video game, and another video game that's coming out.
I like that. I'm on board.
That's very good.
That has to be every segue from now on this show.
Speaking of
Seamless.
video games.
That remaster of Spyro looks fucking great.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was like rumored for. I feel like that got leaked.
Still-
What were we talking about?
Spyro.
I thought you were going to lead back in.
Oh yeah.
Spyro!
Spyro! That little Spyro, the little Greek the little Greek dragon is he's back to old looking regular Spyro before
Yes.
all the Skylanders stuff, which is good. It looks I like replayed Spyro not that long ago, since we've been doing this podcast. I remember talking about it on here, one of them, and it's still good.
I've never played any of them, and when the Crash remasters came out, I'd never fully played Crash, but I'd played like tiny little bits and pieces here at friends' houses, so I knew, vaguely what it was.
Yeah.
Spyro, I have no idea, aside from being a 3D platformer.
A lot more Mario 64 style of platformer.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think you'll be into it.
Yeah. It does reek of like, this is going to come out on the Switch. Why aren't they just announcing it
I think
parallel?
I guess not. I was going to say I think Sony owns Spyro in some way, but they mustn't because Skylanders came out on everything.
But also,
else.
Sony owned Crash, and then they did a deal.
Yeah.
It probably I guess it'll depend on how Crash does on the Switch.
It just seems weird to announce this like not long after Crash has been announced that it's coming out on the Switch, and to not go, okay, well, this is what's just happening now with this.
Yeah.
Because they're so like, people kind of talk about them sort of vaguely in those franchises in sort of the same way.
Yeah. I'm sure it's financial. It's got to be something like people will buy it on the Xbox and the PS4, and then we'll wait 9 months, release it on the Switch.
It's only PS4 at this point.
Right. So but it'll be like that timed exclusive where people will re-buy it on the Switch to play it portable. Like,
Yeah. But yeah, it looks great.
Yeah.
Has it got September 21, I think it is?
Could be.
Yeah. I think it definitely is.
All right.
I don't believe him.
Who's to say?
Hey, we'll never know.
With 2018 being the year of the remake,
And 17 and 60.
I feel like especially they were like remakes.
Got-
Now they're like,
It's
we're
all
gonna do everything.
Yeah.
It's all
and try and
remakes
make money
all the time.
But it feels like there was a bit of a period where remakes would sort of flop a bit. Like they kind of, it feels like more, it's in the last maybe year and a half or so, they've kind of worked out, a lot of companies have worked out how to actually do them well and get people excited about them again, and the little tweaks and stuff that you need to do to kind of, make them.
I find
these
it
games
really
playable.
hard to get excited about remakes.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I was looking at some stuff of the Dark Souls one, and it is exactly the same.
Yeah.
Like it looks a little bit higher resolution or whatever, and it runs at a steady frame rate. But it's I can't be bothered.
I don't get excited.
No, man, you just got excited just then. I saw you,
When I yelled-
okay?
You
I
should
saw the
see
excitement
yourself.
in your face.
When I yelled out Spyro and
Yeah.
flames flashed
You
in my
yelled,
eyes.
and you did too, Noxie.
All right, you got me.
I feel like Tommy's the only one that's getting really excited about this.
I get into if it's something something like this, which I've never played before, and they're kind of, if it wasn't coming out of remaster, it'd be hard to track down the originals, and they would look like shit. I'm excited. I'll go on record and say I'm excited.
Wow.
I'm
You
the only
absolute
one in this room with the
cuck.
guts to say that I'm
brave.
excited.
Get a lot of
Industry
big Kev
cuck.
over here.
I like the fact that if it's a game that I used to like that I don't have access to anymore, that's like, cool, yeah, I'll probably play that again. But it is weird that half the gaming release schedule is remasters.
Yeah.
And they're priced really strangely. Like Burnout Paradise was too expensive. It should have been like $20 to download, because if it's more expensive than buying the original version of the game on a 360 or whatever, I feel like that's a strange place to
Especially if, like Burnout, like me, you get Burnout Paradise thinking that it's Burnout 3 Takedown.
Oh, right.
Like, wait, this isn't the one that I like.
Oh,
Man, they have really changed this in the remastering of it. They have.
If only they'd given you some clue in the title that it wasn't the
Yeah,
exact
right.
same game
I don't know.
that you
It's been
thought.
so long. I don't know. It's just like, wait a second. This sucks. This game fucking sucks.
I actually haven't seen that mentioned in reviews that much.
Yeah, well.
I thought this was going to be a different game.
I'm sure it's Sean Murray's fault in some capacity.
Well, they probably did that. I think Polygon did that for the Far Cry 5. They were like, this isn't a satirical take.
I'm not watching Stephen Colbert right now, and I don't get it.
It's weird. It's like I'm watching just a game.
I don't like that criticism, because I've been playing Far Cry 5 this week, and
Cool.
it's fucking fun.
Let's should we do the rest of the news and then we'll just dive back into Far Cry 5 at some point?
No, let's mix it up.
This was a pretty organic flow, you know.
Yeah, it was almost like
Speaking of video games,
Speaking of organic flow,
well, that criticism of it, I think, is unfair. To
absolutely.
criticize a piece of work for not being a different piece of work that you wanted is not a fair criticism. You've got to just say what's contained in it.
It's the type of sniveling piece of shit journalism that Polygon is kind of shitting out at the moment.
Oh, absolutely.
I used to love Polygon, and all of a sudden they were like, no, we're going to be at the cunts of the gaming.
Yeah.
we're going to be only woke and not actually good.
Yeah.
it drives me crazy when something is criticized for being something or not being something that it's deliberately not trying to do. Do you know, like going, oh, it's not this. It's like, yeah, but if it tried to do it and failed, then that's fair to sort of say it doesn't quite work.
Like Grand Theft Auto or whatever, when it is like on its face a satire of American culture or whatever, and then it's just a really weak one sometimes.
Yeah, but like to say, it'd be like going Far Cry 5. Oh, you know what? As a puzzle game in the vein of Tetris, it's fucking shithouse.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
well, it's
I
not
thought-
attempting to be.
I thought that the kind of message or whatever, the satire or symbolism wasn't lost on me. Like, it was subtle.
Yeah.
It's not that subtle that it wouldn't be lost on you. What did they want? They wanted you to, at the start, that Ubisoft thing, like, this game was made by a variety of people of different religions. At the start, they were like, guns are bad and religion is terrible.
Yeah.
We
But-
don't do it. It's like, that's what they wanted. They wanted to, like,
Yeah.
But it's that would be a hypocritical game to go like, guns are bad, but here's some modifications for your gun if you
Yeah.
want to make it a better gun.
like, I think that it's...
Every time you shoot, just this voice on the screen going, naughty, naughty. Use your words.
What I will face you on the battlefield of ideas.
I think you said this in...
You're pointing at me, Tommy Dasilo.
Yeah, Tommy Dasilo.
And that
you were
was Ben Vanel
I think-
speaking.
I think that it's were you saying that? Like, it was more of a subtle message that there was all these American flags and people being proud. Meanwhile, the countryside is burning to the ground. You know,
I
that
didn't
kind
say
of
that. I think Ben Vanel said
do.
that.
Well, I
Yes.
get you two confused.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're two kind boys.
Yes.
I get my kind boys confused. I think that's a much more... it's much more powerful to say something in a subtle way and not alienate everyone than to
Yes.
go, this is the message. And then the people that can actually be influenced that aren't already on your side will just be like, nah, fuck you. You're a leftist cuck.
Yeah.
But it's crazy to go, it should have been this, without really thinking it through and going, okay, well, realistically speaking, if it was that, you probably would have shit on it for all these... you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To just
You-
go,
if
it
you-
would have gotten
yeah.
a 10 if it had this in it. It's
You
like,
probably would have
well,
been like, these guys aren't philosophical academics writing the best, most
I think
thoughtful,
that-
treatise on racism. Like,
I think Polygon's been kind of bought in a way. Like,
Yeah.
they're only these specific piece of shit games that they give like 9.5s and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Huge. And you're like, really? And then they'll give like Ubisoft a 6
Yeah.
for not saying guns are bad enough.
Yeah,
Like,
there's nothing worse than the critic who's like, trying to try it. Because, every review that a writer writes, it's like that's someone working on something for their portfolio. So you've got to stick out in some way. You can't just go, this is good, the end. Like, you've got to have an angle and it fit. That's the worst kind of criticism, when it's just so blatantly trying to just stick out from the pack.
Well, and it's like-
get
it's-
people talking about the review.
It's like Pitchfork or ones like that where the brand of the website is more important than the review. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
absolutely. And this one, because I read that, when it came out and was like, fuck, is Far Cry 5 going to be bad?
Yeah, but then I watched ACG, which is
Right.
my like go-to for reviews.
a cool
on
guy.
YouTube.
Yeah.
He means me.
No, he's really good. He's on YouTube, ACG. I recommend.
Is he the one who does like he does the sections and he does like buy, rent, wait for sale?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've
right,
seen
I've
it.
seen
He's
it
really
before.
good.
Yeah.
He has bad jokes, but don't we all?
No.
my wife.
And then, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you then.
What was I saying?
You were saying you read that review. And
Oh,
It was a thrilling story.
yeah. The end. No. And then I played the game and I reread the review and I was like, this guy has come into this review with an agenda.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, this is agenda first and then it's the review.
How good, by the way, how good is that when you read a bad review of something and you go, oh, okay, and then you play the thing and you love it, but you've kind of forgotten what was in the review and you go back and you read it, you're like, this person's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Totally, absolutely. And it wasn't necessarily this person's a fucking idiot in their criticism of the gameplay or whatever. It was they have a political agenda that they wish was addressed in the game and wasn't at all.
But that's like also there's a place for if you want to view that sound. If
Speaking
anybody
of
heard
fucking
it,
idiots,
that was the sound of Ben Russell dropping a fidget spinner.
I know that sounds like a bit that we've made up. It's 100% genuine.
Fidget spinner, the ultimate game.
Much like New Year's Eve 2017, the fidget spinner was dropped. So
very good. Very good.
But like,
It's
I
not
give
my
that joke a
fidget spinner, this is-
6.5.
I don't
if
get
you
it.
want, if you also want to view everything through a certain political lens, then this website maybe works for you. You know,
Sure.
there's plenty of people who want to do that, especially at the moment. And I am much more on the side right at the moment of escapism being more important than political commentary in every single piece of art that comes out.
Yeah, agreed. I was thinking about this the other day between reviewing Far Cry and now, and how we, all four of us, are in this kind of left-wing arts bubble where we were like swamped.
I just want to say the word left-wing farts bubble, and then you can continue.
7.5 for that one.
Thank you.
We were like just mired in this kind of political deconstruction of you know, like sexism and gun control and all of this stuff. Like we just are constantly bombarded with it, and it's stuff we agree with. Like sexism's
And
bad,
it's
gun control's
important.
good. It's all important, but
it's also it's real world work that isn't a fucking Far Cry video game isn't the place where I'm like, finally the answers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there was once criticism about Far Cry 5, and I think a lot of people did say this, it's that the story and the open world that you live in are kind of at odds with each other tonally.
Yeah.
And I didn't get that throughout the entire... I was like, yeah, I mean, it's a little dark. But then I saw the end.
So you finished it.
I finished
Yeah.
it.
Right.
And
I've not.
we have not.
It is a... I don't know. There's different endings.
Right.
And I've done all of them.
Right.
There's only 2 really, isn't there? No, there's 3 actually. There's a hidden one at the start.
Yeah, the same thing as like
Yeah.
before. Yeah.
Right.
And all of them I felt... endings in video games are so hard. Like, so difficult.
Yeah.
And it was like, fine. It was one of those endings where you're like, oh yeah.
I feel like every Far Cry game has kind of done that. I remember 3 being really disappointed with the ending.
2 was so bad though.
I don't know
2
if
was
I
like, you
finished
died
2.
of malaria. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, so
Is that a spoiler alert for malaria? That you die from it?
Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't need to have a bite to it though. Anyway, if Spyro Remastered doesn't have the final boss be Trump now, I'm going to be fucking furious.
Spyro.
Spyro.
Spyro, it's tremendous.
One thing
It's
that
just a Trump impersonator. That's the final boss.
Spyro,
Yeah, Spyro.
you've done a great job.
Huge.
It's terrific.
Spyro, you're so huge. Spyro's so shiny.
One thing I've seen come up a lot in reviews is, talking about the characters in this one, in Far Cry 5, and like the bosses, and saying like, oh, there's some good ones, but, they're not a patch on, the heights of the, I don't know, I forget the character's name, but, this one in 3 and this one in 4.
Vast.
Which is
Vast,
just kind of
yeah.
like, well, okay, sure, if a series has done something in it that's like got, the absolute pinnacle... Like, is it fair to then be coming back going, it's not as good as this thing that is
I think
super, super great, and
Far Cry 4 and I think 5, from what I've played of it so far, are quite obviously trying to recapture that like charismatic villain thing.
Well, I mean,
though.
that's a part of the Far Cry brand, though.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
the Far Cry brand is that you have a charismatic villain.
Yeah,
in
you're
it,
fighting
and
30
it's
seconds to
more
Mars,
fun. Yeah.
and then that's what these people are. They're 30 seconds to Mars.
Yeah. The hipster
The villains.
hipster rednecks.
I actually found him pretty scary and menacing.
I have
thought
so
that,
far.
I thought that Jacob, because there's 3 lieutenants.
Yeah, is Jacob the one in the south or
Jacob's the
north?
military
The north,
boy
okay.
with the cool hipster haircut.
Right.
I found him to be the most boring.
Right.
I found that his arc was like I just found him annoying and not good annoying. Like
I haven't liked any of the story so far. It's been very boring to me.
Faith is definitely the high point of the entire story.
Well, every conversation that I've been having with all the people in the towns and stuff has been a little too long. They and it kind of locks you into it. Yeah, I know. I might start doing that because it's just all been a bit flat. But I'm not there for the story of it really.
Yeah,
fly a plane around and jump out.
I found a couple of the story missions a bit tedious and like kind of difficult as well. There's certain
can be a difficult
sections,
game,
but. I said it last week. It's just the aesthetics that I like. I like the visuals. I like the music. Like I like all that stuff.
Well, I'm looking forward to now. I've just been getting all the outposts because that's why I buy Far Cry games. That's why I loved Far Cry 2, and that's why I play them is so that I can scout out outposts. Am I going to go in loud? Like, am I going quiet? It's that kind of thing. Am I just going to snipe everyone?
Yeah.
The outposts make the game. The outpost maketh the game, as they say.
I think for me it is the outposts as well, and also the just getting in a truck, driving around, going, these guys are over here. I'm going to follow this.
Getting into mischief.
There's some pretty fun fucking things that you can do in there. Like I had the plane guy as a friend, and I had the sniper.
Oh yeah, that's who I've got too.
And we just sniped off, and then he came in strafed everything, and then we just destroyed this outpost so quickly.
Yeah. Sounds
like it was tactical kind of. It was really great.
This sounds like good fun. I am still stuck on the exact same bit that I was last week. I never knew it was possible to be this bad at a video game. It is unbelievable. Like genuinely something's wrong with me. I was just sitting there playing it at one point going, I think who do you see about this? I need help. Something's missing in my brain.
That's so weird because you were able to play Doom.
Yeah.
But like I said, Doom is you can absorb a lot of damage and you don't need to be very precise. You've got these big fucking insane guns and the enemies are so big.
And you're constantly moving as well.
Constantly moving.
Yeah.
You can snap to enemies. You know that way if you like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can also put the difficulty down to easy.
Oh, I've done that.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
Is this the opening?
I don't know.
You've just got to run.
Can you all come to my house and show me what I'm doing wrong?
I honestly think I wouldn't be able to stomach watching you play.
Yeah, me too.
It would be unbearable.
My blood would boil.
Yeah.
You should YouTube what you're playing.
Man,
so you can be the most downvoted video.
I'm simultaneously having it's kind of like I'm me playing it and I'm really bad at it, but I'm also having the out of body experience of someone who's watching me play and getting very frustrated by it.
Right.
Even though I don't actually know what I'm doing wrong. I'm just pissing myself off. I don't know, man. It's the most taxing mental experience of anything I've ever been through. I don't know what's going on.
Oh no.
Question is the guns. You can get the prestige guns with they're just skins, right? They don't affect the damage.
Oh, like the microtransaction ones.
Oh no, the ones you have to save up for $7,000 for.
Okay. I haven't really looked into that.
One of them, I think it's slightly better. It's like the Falls End gun, and it's like. Maybe it is just skinned, yeah. I stopped using it immediately. I'm on the first gun in each column basically, and I just have added silencers and scopes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty much. I mean, I would just go the AK-47 thing and then
Wait,
a sniper rifle.
You can get guns in this game?
Thomas.
Sparrow! There's some more news here that you've written down, Ben.
Yes.
Oh, wow. How's the view from under that bus?
Well, no. I've thrown him into the driver's seat of the bus.
Okay.
to tell us about this news. You've the Studio Ghibli co-founder died.
I put that in because you criticised Studio Ghibli last week.
I didn't criticize Studio Ghibli. I criticized fucking Nino Kuni.
I think
That's
you're
different.
directly responsible for his death.
I absolutely am not.
That's the only reason I included that news.
Well, rest in peace. Should have learned to draw while you were alive. But I'm kidding. I'm joking.
That is brutal.
That's
fuck
Saying
that guy for having a much more successful career than me.
Saying all that when you don't even know the guy's name as well. It's especially
Well, I don't know because Ben didn't write it down.
No.
No, that's a shame.
It sucks, yeah.
But you don't like Studio Ghibli.
No, I do. Studio Ghibli's all right. I didn't like how Nino Kuni 2 looked.
How does Nino Kuni 2 look?
Kind of like
Studio
Studio
Ghibli.
Ghibli, but a little more washed out and lame. I don't know. I'm not into it. There would
That got everything I wanted out of it and more.
There's a lot to unpack there.
Thanks for writing that down, Ben. Good
Hey, my
work.
pleasure. My pleasure.
And thanks for your feedback, everyone.
Keeping this bus above 50 miles per hour at this point.
Final Fantasy 15 DLC specifics.
Yep.
Aranea, Arden, Noctis, Luna, DLC through 2019. What else do I have to say? is through 2019, as in it will continue and exist during 2019?
I believe all of those 4 are set for release in 2019, staggered throughout. So it's
Right, so nothing this year.
not from what I could say.
What the
no.
fuck? That's the weirdest game.
Yeah.
That's so strange.
But it's, so I forget who Aranea is.
Aranea was
Aranea.
the woman who joined in with you occasionally.
What the fuck are you guys talking
Talking about Final Fantasy 15, bro.
Oh, that's why I don't care.
Yeah. Remember that hunk simulator that came out in 2016?
Oh, yeah.
The hunks.
So Noctis has another one, I get, because
Yeah.
the whole game was not... All right.
Yeah.
I want to play that stuff, but I don't want to fucking play it in 2020.
Well, that's
insane.
It's I loved that game. That was my game of the year that year. But
You got it.
yeah, it was. It was my goddie, and it may be my goat. No, it's not. It's good though. But
Okay.
I don't want to play it. I don't want to keep playing this game in perpetuity.
I would like to
just
play it one more time
Yeah.
with all the other stuff in there. So, but that means that it's in like 2020, which is fucking wild.
I'd rather play Final Fantasy VII Remaster.
Well,
And
too bad.
I'm
That's
excited about that.
Never gonna happen.
It's never happening, buddy. Let it go.
Divinity.
Every game will be a service game, and there will be no more solo
That's what it
single
feels
player
like.
games.
That's
And-
what it feels like.
Yeah.
It's such a weird pricing structure to pay for the thing that you then have to pay more stuff. Like
Yeah.
you don't have to pay an entry fee to get into McDonald's to then
Yeah.
pay for your food. It's bizarre.
yeah.
But
It
if
is
you want
crazy.
5 pieces of food, you have to pay for each one.
Yeah.
Considering that the video game industry makes so much money already, you're just now they're just let's find a way that we can fuck these nerds out of more money.
Yeah, that's what I really don't like about it. Because I've even
It's weird.
seen.
It's weird when you're the industry that you love so much fucking hates you.
Yeah. And it's a weird point where us starting this podcast 2 years ago or whatever it was, where in many ways gaming, especially like last year, such an amazing year for games, so much good stuff comes out now. But then there's also this side where the industry is in the worst shape it's ever been.
And it wouldn't be such a problem if you knew that they were paying the people making the games well and all of
Yeah,
that sort of
not.
stuff. But
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
that.
Video game programmers get fucking just screwed.
Yeah, and then have to work these long fucking hours,
Yeah.
just sleep at the office,
Yeah.
and then the exorbitant amounts of money you are asked to pay sometimes do not go to them; they go to whoever is above them.
I still
Some
see.
kind of boss. I don't know how it
I still
works.
see our listeners, people who are discussing this online, are but video game companies don't make money. This is just a way.
Bullshit.
Microtransactions are a way for them to make money, and it's
That's just fucking what they are saying.
you are-
we need more money.
Well, it's the most profitable
Fuck off.
entertainment industry in the
yeah,
world, right?
That's it.
Yeah.
They're just buying the PR. It's they make billions of dollars of profit,
Yeah.
not just revenue. They clear fucking billions of dollars. They're
And they
not
pay
hard up.
the guys that actually do the heavy lifting. Fuck all.
Well, yeah. Even
Yeah.
I really like CD Projekt Red, who made
Yes.
The Witcher, and apparently they have some of the worst working conditions, that studio, which
Yeah,
is
right.
a shame and makes me feel kind of bad about okay, this Cyberpunk 2077 thing. Do I mean, I am going to buy that, but am I going to feel bad about it? No.
No.
But you've thought about it for about 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And that's what really matters.
That
I
makes you
went-
such a good person.
I sat down and went,
You should write for Polygon.
Yeah.
once.
But I guess the flip side is that all this gives rise to the indie developers and the great kind of small team, getting fed up and going out on their own and doing these really great solo creator driven things that are just full of so much, artistic vision and stuff. So, I mean, I guess if that's the flip side that it creates, then that's a good thing to kind of come out of it. But yeah.
But wait 5 years until that whole process is co-opted somehow.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm in a position where it sucks, but also it's not in any of the games that I
It just
play.
sounded like you were talking about your life. Like, I'm in a position where it sucks.
But like, yeah, I don't get personally affected by it because I don't tend to really play any of the stuff that it's in, even though I'm aware that it's very bad. But it doesn't. But it's only a matter of time until.
Well, Shadow of War took out or is taking out microtransactions.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, really?
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And Battlefront 2 is putting back in microtransactions.
But then I think they put them back in and then took them back out.
Yeah.
I went because on the PS store it was on sale, so I bought Battlefront 2.
Right. And are they still in? Because I thought they took them out, but they put them back
Maybe
in.
they
Fucking
announced-
hokey pokey again.
I don't know because I played it once.
Yeah.
And then haven't played it since.
Right.
I quite like that game. Is the shame of that one. But a game that I think I would like, but didn't play last year because there just wasn't enough time. Divinity Original Sin 2 is coming to the PS4 and the Xbox One now.
Yeah, I'm excited. I just downloaded the first one on Steam because it's, I guess, old enough that it will run on my Mac.
Yeah.
I haven't played it yet, but I think I had this game confused with some other game that I did play.
Right.
Like some fucking like dumb third-person action, thing.
Okay.
This is it's a fully in-depth RPG.
It's an old school Baldur's Gate type RPG.
And it looks fucking great. And I'm very excited for this.
Except it's like 100. This might be like my Persona 5 of this year or something where I just spend too much time.
I've never. Yeah, I've no. I think I'm the same way. That I think it's some other game.
It looks like a Diablo 2, Baldur's Gate kind of thing. Very deep, apparently.
The console might be a good place to play it too, because the PC one came out a little bit buggy, I think, and they've patched it and stuff since. And the console version of the first one, I think people really liked.
Right.
So that's cool.
Yeah, this is exciting.
Put all games on all platforms.
Yes.
Shadow of War got rid of microtransactions. You've written down racist Twitch streamers. Is this news?
Yeah, I think Ninja said the N-word.
Which one's Ninja?
Oh, one of the weird ones with
Okay.
blue hair.
Oh,
well,
really?
Yeah.
That's no different. I saw Microsoft.
It's almost like gaming culture is toxic.
Yeah, we should do an episode on that at some point.
We land somewhere between Polygon and Twitch streamer.
Yes.
I don't know where we are in that thing, but we're somewhere in the middle
We
of them.
think we're normal, but everyone at either end thinks we're idiots, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, fuck you guys. I saw something. I don't know if this was Twitch as well. I think it was just Microsoft products that they're like in some way cracking down on hate speech in like an algorithmic way of detecting it on Skype and Xbox Live and that sort of stuff.
I can tell you that Sea of Thieves is not.
There's no algorithms on the open seas.
No. It's brutal out there.
Dancing naked around you while yelling.
Being locked in a brig while someone someone shouting it at you on like a battlefield in another game is like bad enough. Yeah. But you being confined in a cell with someone just screaming these hate, you can't go anywhere. You can't escape it.
And all I do in that situation is just just talk back to them in the same voice that they're talking back to. Like, I'm just like, yeah, dude, hey, bruh. Hey, hang 10, bro. Yeah, dude, let's go with Chad and go kegging.
Dude, you reckon this ship could get some waves?
Yeah, and then he was like, you don't even know who I am, man. If you knew who I am,
Bro,
dude,
I am you.
I'm going to fry your router right now. And turns out like he was a New Jersey, like he's 42nd.
Billy Joel.
No, what's his name?
Oh.
His name
The
is
entertainer.
Shexting.
Yeah.
Shexting?
That's what's his, and he's like a competitive gamer.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ranked 42nd.
Was this
I think.
Ninja?
Yeah, maybe.
It was PewDiePie.
But he was a real piece of shit, and I hope something real bad happens to him.
Studio Ghibli style.
Yeah.
I don't think bad things tend to happen to people who stream video games online, though. They never get like swatted or anything. Don't swat. Never swat anybody.
Never do
That's
it.
the worst fucking shit in the world.
Specifically, don't endorse it. It's fucking awful.
It's mental.
Yeah.
That's all the news this week. We've been playing any other fucking things?
Firewatch is coming to Switch.
Oh, yes.
I saw during
Oh,
the
that
week.
new game.
Yeah, that's
God, yeah.
Who cares?
I hope
But
they remaster it.
I guess there's enough people that haven't played it that would enjoy it on the Switch. But yeah,
Yeah.
It's an enjoyable game.
It's a great game. I liked it.
It'd be good on the Switch too.
yeah. You've been playing Assassin's Creed Origins?
Yes, I
Thieves?
have. I've been playing the expansion.
This isn't the like museum tour
mode.
thing?
No. They do have that. That was a free rollout,
Right.
But this is part. I bought
Like the
season
first
pass,
DLC
Yeah,
proper.
they did the first one, which is like the hidden ones, which was good.
Okay.
Which was pretty good. But this one, whereas that one was kind of the same visually, this one you go into the afterlife, into the different worlds of the
Right.
gods, and I just love that Egypt. They've really nailed the Egyptian mythology and,
Right.
and the feel of that in this game anyway. But visually, holy shit. All those different worlds, they're different little isolated worlds that you can run around in, same as others. And they're really fucking great. They're really well realized and they
Nice.
look fantastic. Like, first level that I was in is the field of reeds, and there's like
Is that
these
like
big
Gladiator Dream World?
ships. Yeah.
Okay.
And there's big ships, sailing on this field of reeds that you can walk around in. Fuck. It looks
You got
beautiful.
voted in the brig straight away. And
Yeah, I got put in the brig and
What kind of slurs
Horace
they
was
got back then?
naked idiot. That's what they call everyone. That's like old Egyptian for fuck.
it's crazy how this like Assassin's Creed Origins seems to be one of the best representations of ancient Egypt in any medium. It's
It is so good.
yeah.
It's
I
such
need
a
to go
good
back
game.
to that game.
Yeah. They Ubisoft have never fucked up that aspect of the games. Like the French Revolution game was great. I
You
thought
were one of the only people that played that game.
Yeah, Unity. Yes, Unity. And even that shitty London one, like London was great, but it was the actual moment-to-moment gameplay they fucked up.
Yeah. And I think, they still have some work. I mean, it's not like the story in the main story didn't stumble. But I felt like the world building was the best it's ever been in one of these games.
It looked fucking incredible.
And that period of history in Ptolemaic Egypt is fascinating, sort of that post-Alexander the Great.
Have you done any of the museum mode thing?
I did a little bit of Alexandria.
Right.
Which is a pretty... And I love that whole period of history. And Alexandria is a fascinating city that Alexander the Great built, and it's pretty cool. It's very interesting time. If you're like a history buff, I would definitely recommend it.
yeah,
It
it's
doesn't take very long.
It's a patch of history I just really don't know much about. I should go do that.
I've seen The Mummy.
That's ancient Egypt.
yeah. No, I loved what I played of Assassin's Creed Origins. I've got to go back in because there was a million other games to play. But fuck, if the DLC is also good.
Is this the end of the DLC?
I believe so.
For them?
This
Okay.
was the last one.
Right.
Anyway. So
That's pretty quick then.
Yeah.
From
Yeah.
release to being wrapped up.
Well, development was a bit longer, and it just kind of felt like they sat down and were like, let's make this one really, really good and nail every aspect of
Yeah.
it, and it feels like they have.
Do you reckon they announce another one at E3? Do you reckon there's another one that comes out this year, or do you reckon next year?
I hope that they continue just the annual.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, agreed.
Deal.
Yeah, I'd be keen to hear an
There was-
announcement for one, but
I saw a rumor about ancient Greece is going to be the next.
Yes,
one.
I saw that too.
that'd be
which-
awesome.
I think
sense.
Ubisoft they've got their shit sorted at the moment.
Yes.
I feel like it'd be
hitting
foolish
pretty-
to
Yeah.
rush back into an annualized title.
The thing
Yeah.
that they're doing with a lot of their games of putting it out and supporting it for 2 years or whatever before doing a sequel that works for me.
Even
Yeah.
For Honor, and the Division, which was in that year that they kind of were all over the place in terms
Yeah.
of quality, they've still really supported them. And Massive Games has done a really wonderful job at the Division, where the Division is like, because at first I loved Division, then I just fucking hate it, and then they kept just changing respecking everything.
Yeah.
And now it's a really good game. And
Right.
so I'll still every now and then pop back into it because it's super well balanced and it's got a lot of content and things to do.
I guess the sequel to that will be something that'll be pretty present at E3 as well.
Yeah.
Well, that's been announced. That's going to be huge.
It's huge. Spyro,
They
get
were
out of
talking
here.
about having a battle royale mode for that now.
Oh, okay. That makes
So-
a lot of sense for that game, I guess. Yeah, will that be the fucking thing this year as well? Of
Yes.
everything having
It
that?
already
Everyone's
is.
going to have
Yeah.
a battle royale.
Yeah.
This is like Horde mode.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, Horde mode.
Remember Horde mode, man? I miss Horde mode.
It's so fucking weird that every game called it Horde mode as well.
Yeah.
Where Gears of War it was literally the Horde.
Yeah, fuck.
Memories, eh?
Yeah.
This is 2012's horde mode.
Yeah. Well, I played a bit of PUBG on my phone.
Oh yeah. I still haven't done that. How is it? Nightmare?
It's not ideal way to play it.
How does it control? Is it...
The controls are the problem. It looks fantastic, and you kind of just get sucked into it despite it being on a tiny phone screen. It was the awkwardness of the controls that got me.
Is it fake joysticks type thing, or...
I think it is. What the
Digital joystick.
Digital joystick.
Digital joystick.
Virtual joystick.
It was.
Would it be
was
better
VJ.
if it was on an iPad and you had a?
That's what I was going to
more
say. Yes,
space?
that's all it is. My thumbs are too fat. I think.
Fortnite has a similar thing. I feel like
Yeah.
Fortnite and PUBG are just like, what about this? Ooh, what about this? Because Fortnite copied Battle Royale mode.
Yes.
Straight up. And now everyone loves Fortnite. And I played Fortnite and I feel like I'm taking crazy pills because I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a good game.
But have you played PUBG?
I played PUBG and I liked PUBG.
What?
I'm in
I think
I'm in the same position.
I think it's the same game.
Nah, it's the
it's
building. It's the building that I fucking hate in
Yeah,
Fortnite.
but you don't have to. I didn't build
No, but
at all.
you kind of do because people have to fucking like. That's what the people who were doing well at it do. They get
Right.
shot at from a direction and they spin around and build a wall.
Right.
And I just do not like that building aspect. I don't like the way Fortnite looks, and it just
Yeah, I hate the art direction.
yeah. It's and I don't think it controls it. It doesn't have the same tension that PUBG does, which is the thing I like.
Yeah, the
about it.
controls
Yeah.
I feel are not as good. It's
Well,
not as
yeah.
responsive.
I haven't played PUBG on a high spec PC, which is what it should be.
That's the way
playing
you have
on.
to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that happened. Do you want to talk a bit more about Far Cry, Nox? Because you only really touched on it a little bit.
I haven't had enough time to play heaps of it.
Yeah.
It's so far like I'm enjoying it. It's very similar to the other ones. The story's boring again, and it looks very nice. Like I kind of echo the same stuff you guys were saying last
Right.
week.
Have you done arcade stuff at all?
I haven't done arcade. I was kind of waiting.
I'm liking it. I'm
Yeah,
liking
I've
it
heard
a
it's
lot.
quite good.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just these mini scenarios that, someone bloody cooks up.
You're right there, Tommy. You just look like you're
Real
fucking-
tired. I'm trying to be present. Keep going.
Yeah, there's not much more to say. I fucking love it. Like, it's really... The interface is great. The way to search through stuff is really intuitive, and it's a bunch of little bonus levels that are free, Like, it's basically free DLC.
It is cool with this how they've really like from the outset made an effort. Like what you were saying before with their support for every like Assassin's Creed Origins and stuff. Like they had this like that big announcement of like here's all this extra shit that's going to be in it. Like so there's all this stuff dropping of like is it season pass stuff that's like the
Season-
zombies and the Vietnam shit
Yes.
And the
like,
Mars, yeah.
Yeah.
which is like I don't. That's so weird because it's like these are just different games. Like
It's
I
like
find
Blood-
that so bizarre.
With Blood
Blood
Dragon,
Dragon,
yeah.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
there's been a live event already, which people didn't love, but they're
We
already
just
doing
set
stuff.
cows on fire.
Yes.
It's
was-
cool that they found
Yeah.
they found like this kind of
weird.
unique way of doing multiplayer too. It's not just like a multiplayer deathmatch fucking boring thing again.
Yes.
But it also can be that as well if you want to
But
just
there's
play
more
it.
to it. There's
Yeah.
another layer, and that's cool.
Yeah.
It seems like they've gone after the GTA 5 thing, which is still
Yeah.
pumping out online content.
amazing, isn't
People
it,
that
that
are
it's
into it
still
really
going?
love it. Like it's a good, it's a cool for something where there's not, I imagine, heaps of financial gain in. Because GTA 5, do they charge? No, they do charge for the stuff that they put in, but they also do
you
free
can
stuff.
buy the currency. You
There are
can
Yes.
microtransactions.
Which
Right.
you can in Far Cry as well, and you can buy new clothes and all that kind of shit with it. But again, like with PUBG, like you've mentioned a lot, Nox, the stuff you pay for is cosmetic. So maybe I want to get a cowboy hat, but it doesn't make me any better at the game.
Yeah.
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 I mean, yeah, it's the Destiny 2 expansion will be coming out, I think, next month in May.
Right, and that's the second one of that as well.
Yeah, well, if you can call Curse of Osiris a DLC.
People hated that. People seem to really not. I didn't go. I didn't like. Base
People didn't
Destiny
like
2.
it because, A, it was the same thing Bungie did with Destiny 1 with Dark Below,
Yeah,
and B, it was such a wasted opportunity.
Right.
and they kind of took stuff out in a weird way, where like
Yeah.
you had to be
Out
at
of the
the
base
highest
game,
level
yeah.
to,
And then they started to really fuck with the Everse, where it actually gave people, like, you could pay for stuff that would give you an edge.
Right.
They've again they've just gone, oh, I'm so sorry we did this in the first one. I'm so we're sorry. Like you literally are making the same mistakes you did in Destiny 1.
Yeah.
Are you guys completely fucked in the head?
Yeah, I really fell off of Destiny 2 pretty quickly.
I loved it and then stopped playing it entirely.
I played it up until longer than anyone I know played it, and I've recently stopped.
Right.
But the expansion's going to pull you back.
I'm going to come back into it, but I've completed the game. It's like my little Destiny. They've taken Destiny 1 and they've dumbed it down and shallowed it up and made it for dumb assholes. They were like, Destiny 1 was great, but not enough dumb assholes were playing it. We need to really reach this dumb asshole market.
I guess that's why I stopped playing it so quickly.
Yeah, me too. Something about it just didn't jive with me.
A dumb asshole. I'm looking forward to it because I've done all the raids. I mean, the only reason the only thing that I haven't done is the Trials of the 9 because I don't want to pay real money for some Twitch streamer to carry me through these trials.
Right.
And I'm just not... I can't kill people in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And those are the ones where it's like this bit, there's this specific thing you got to all figure out and work together to do and go to the next bit.
Oh, no, that's the raid. So the raids are different and you've got raid layers. I've done them.
Right.
They're real fun.
Right.
In fact, if you get a good group... the main raid is one of the best things that Bungie's done.
Right.
If you get a bad group, you
get voted
might
into the brig
want to kill yourself.
Right.
During
Okay.
it. It is.
Okay.
And Bungie and the Destiny community is, let's face it, not the greatest.
Bunch of dumb assholes, it sounds like.
They are dumb assholes, and they're just getting dumber and more asshole.
Fuck.
So it's hard to find a pickup group if you're not playing with friends.
Right. That's always kind of pushed me away from it as well. That aspect.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm eager to see the expansion for this.
Yeah,
I think
right.
it's gonna. I hope it's gonna be good. Destiny have just been apologizing and doing patches for the last 3 months.
But for the last 3 years, really.
We're sorry we made the same mistakes that we knew were going to happen.
We accidentally used the same whiteboard again. It had the same notes of whoops, fuck.
Sorry that we deliberately made the exact same mistakes by design.
And then tried to fuck you and you complained and we were like, maybe we shouldn't do this again.
Fuck. Well, hopefully they pull an Ubisoft and take a bit of breathing space.
I don't think they will.
I agree.
I think Bungie won't.
Yeah.
I think Bungie will continue to make the same shitty mistakes and push people away.
Well, should we wrap it up for this week?
Yeah, I think so.
Everybody wrap it up.
Thank you very much for listening. Ben Russell, thank you for joining us.
It's always a pleasure, my boys.
Agreed.
You are in a comedy festival show that's on in Melbourne at the moment called...
Restaurant Fuckheads.
Yeah, best title in the festival.
It's on at the European Beer Cafe at the weird nights of
The strangest
Oh, it's so
times.
annoying. It's almost like I can't see it.
Thursday, Sunday, Monday,
10:45 Thursdays, 9:45
9:45
Sundays and Mondays.
Oh yeah, I can go on Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
I
go
saw
on
it
Sunday.
the other night and it was a lot of fun.
I saw it the other night as well, and it was great.
I'm going to see it tomorrow night.
Shut up,
everyone's been saying nice things about it.
Yeah, so come along. It's real fucking stupid. So all you Destiny players, come along. You'll love it. You'll literally love it. I will charge you at halfway through for additional content that should have been in the game.
You did a show a few years ago called The Tokyo Hotel, and a friend of ours, Luke Heggie, thought that your current, said to me what he thought the name of your current show is, and he called it The Fuckwit Hotel, which I quite like.
The Fuckwit Hotel.
Yes.
Are you going to be in the Fuckwit Hotel?
We've also got our comedy festival shows. Mine is Leisure Suit Tommy. It's on. There's a couple left by the time people hear this. Chimp Cop is still going until the end of the festival.
All the way to the end of the festival. 8:30 p.m. every night except Wednesdays.
I might see that tonight.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
We're doing it.
It's been really fun so far. So come and see it if you like. Again, real silly, stupid sketch comedy kind of stuff.
So again, Destiny. If you love Destiny 2,
come and see.
come along.
and make your way, if you can tear yourself away from your bloody raids, come to my show, which is on at 6:30 p.m. every day except Wednesday at Trades Hall as well. We should point out as well, if there's been any big news this week that we haven't addressed, we're recording this episode a little early, so if you're wondering why that hasn't happened, get off your high horse.
Get over it, mate.
Yeah,
Fuck off.
We've got shit to do.
Before you type it, just ask yourself, does anyone give a shit?
Do I sound
And
like I play
remember that
Destiny?
the answer is always no.
Always no. Always no.
Guys, thanks heaps for listening. We'll see you next week. And as we say here at the end of every episode of Filthy Casuals,
Spyro!
This podcast is part of the Planet Broadcasting Network.
Visit planetbroadcasting.com for more podcasts from our great mates. It's not optional. You have to do it. We used to go easy on it, but now you have to.
Yeah.
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 Yeah.